Hi, welcome to the next session within the Growth Accelerator module review. We are looking at the red portal and going through each one of the modules for the Growth Accelerator survey and development modules. The current module that we're going to look at is a How to Win module. Just quickly again, the navigation within the portal on the How to Win we would go to downloads and we'll be able to find all the tools that I am reviewing for the specific module there for download. This module specifically will focus on the play to win framework and the one-page strategy, but we've also included bid assessment, win-loss review and risk review as three of the additional assessments for this module. Remember, this is a module is aimed at figuring out how not to just play not to lose. So how not to just run a defensive strategy, but also how to run a strategy that's aimed at winning, taking market share, winning more opportunities, assessing more risk, finding more opportunities within those risk assessments, and also making sure that with this aggressive win strategy that we properly assess bids before dedicating additional resources to those. The tools are actually quite simple. I will go through all three of them in this video. The bid or no bid assessment, aimed at making sure that the bids that we do target are actually in line with the company's priorities and structure, and that they will add significantly to the company's revenue. Instructions, simple to follow. Again, drop down list within this assessment from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. The bid no bid assessments will be looking at an internal evaluation, external evaluation, and the risk evaluation and financial evaluation for each one. So if we look at bid no bid assessments, the opportunity aligns with the strategic vision. Again, from 1 through to 5, we'll be selecting on how closely this specific bid aligns. Senior management will support decision to move forward. That means we will have all our people on the team engaged. We have resources required to win the opportunity. We have the resources and ability to deliver if we win. Additional resources can be, so definitely internal valuation, looking at the internal resources for the specific opportunity that we are pursuing and whether or not we have those internal capabilities to pursue this. A deal killer means if we are looking at, we have resources and ability to deliver if we win. So if we say that we're looking at the opportunity and we don't necessarily have all the resources available to deliver if we win, that's not necessarily a deal killer because those resources can be acquired. If they cannot be acquired, then this could be a deal killer where we have to first make sure that we get this to a 5 and move so that we identify which are the deal killers. So which are the absolute have-to-haves within each one of these sessions. So all intellectual property can be protected. The opportunity will leave the door open for further opportunities. We have differentiators that improve our odds of winning. So if we look at the next one, external evaluation, the key decision makers are well known and can be influenced. So again, this is looking at an external look at the module. The budget has been formally approved. The requirements have been clearly defined. The evaluation criteria is well understood. The proposal time frame is realistic. The prospect has made the decision to buy in principle. Other competitors have been identified. So again, able to look at this, the budget's been formally approved and funded, would be a deal killer if it's not. So if we are not able to score this high, I would see that as a deal killer. If we look at the next one, the risk evaluation. So risk of this specific bid assessment. No competitors pose serious threats. The solution relies on technology that we are comfortable with. Winning will enhance the reputation and market positioning. I think that would be a deal killer. Why would we pursue ones that are not? Winning will give us an advantage over our competitors. So again, assessing is one of those on 1 to 5. And remember, this is a no bid assessment per opportunity that we would complete to make sure that there's an actual go for this opportunity. Financial, we can afford the investment needed to pursue the opportunity. That would be a deal killer. If not, price has been identified, margins for this project is acceptable, another deal killer. So again, assessing the bid overall for internal, external, the risk involved with this, and the financial evaluation. So for this opportunity, we would then get a scorecard identifying how many risk killers there are. So 5 is considerably high. If we look at the internal evaluation, not bad, it's 3. So I would say it's a go. External evaluation is good, but you can see a risk evaluation. It's a high degree of risk within and also not financial alignment. So the total average for this opportunity would be 2.8, which means there's serious doubt whether or not to pursue this opportunity. Okay, so then we have the bid no bid assessment. Also within your tool set, you'll have the win-loss analysis. So looking again, if we are pursuing these opportunities, after the bid no bid assessment, we pursue the opportunity. If we win the opportunity, what was the value and what was the reason that we won this? So again, for each opportunity that we pursue, we would now capture this was a loss, and we lost that opportunity because competition. Secondary reason, maybe our value proposition was not strong enough, and that's why we won. The competition could win, and no additional ones. So each one of the win-loss, we would then go through for every opportunity. So this is a win-loss register for all our opportunities, where this is a bid no bid assessment per opportunity that is standard before we go forward with any opportunity. The win-loss summary will give us an opportunity then to look at the number of deals that we won, the number of deals that we lost, looking at which of the products did we win and which we lost, giving us a good product view of the business, of the opportunities, and then also a sort of overall summary per product. The top reason and loss summary will then make sure that we are able to identify specific reasons, so whether or not it was credibility, pricing, competition on hold, looking at the amount. So again, giving us a good opportunity to look at how we are winning and why we are losing. And we are able to then take action in order to increase the number of wins by focusing on the reasons why we did not win those, and also making sure that we circle back and update that on the bid no bid assessment, making sure that in future we target more opportunities that we are able to win. The next assessment within this specific module is the risk assessment tool, and this is a risk assessment for overall. This should be a risk assessment for the organization, not just specifically on any one deal. So remember, we do cover risk assessment for a specific deal within the bid no bid. This is away from specific opportunities, but more for the entire organization. So giving us a format for us to capture a risk register. So being able to capture what specific details of that risk is, being able to look at whether or not this is a threat of an opportunity, making sure that we know whether or not that is analyzed, whether we know how to respond, what is the consequence, so moderate impact, likelihood, going from possibly unlikely to almost certain, and what is the risk rating. that risk rating would be then automatically calculated based on the input. So you can see the risk is high. If I start changing this to insignificant, it will change the impact of that overall risk assessment. Then what are we going to do with that specific rate? Are we going to accept it, or are we going to actually mitigate or avoid or transfer? So these are your risk response categories. And then the expected outcome, the existing mitigation, further action, who's the owner, the required resources, the due date, dependencies, and notes. So effectively giving us a format to establish a risk register for the entire organization as a whole. So that was a quick look at each one of these three tools that sits within your How to Win. The next modules will specifically go into the main criteria for how to win would be what is our strategy and how we've defined that strategy as a winning strategy, and also a quick review of the play to win framework.